One of the biggest challenges on this path is trying to comprehend and understand that what we're looking for isn't a state of mind. And the reason for this is that we either have we read books like Yogananda's Autobiography of a Yogi, or we read maybe even Ram Dass's Be Here Now, or we read any other kind of Indian style book. Or then we have some kind of LSD experience, mushroom experience, or we just have a spontaneous kind of awakening realization. And there seems to be some kind of altered state of mind in those experiences. And what happens is a lot of people can get stuck thinking they have to go back to that experience, that if therefore the truth should be an experience, because I had that experience one time and now I'm not experiencing that. Maybe I've got to get back there. Maybe that's the place I've got to be. And we basically get stuck believing that what we're looking for is a state of mind. Now, the thing to see clearly is that it's not a state of mind. Imagine you were like a god, and this god that you were, it was able to, like, if imagine that God was given your boring old experience, the one you want to get rid of, the one that you're trying to seek enlightenment to change, the one that you're really unsatisfied with. Imagine the God was given that experience, and that God was like, oh yeah, no, I need to change this too. This is not sufficient enough for me. Could you imagine how limited that God would be? Could you imagine a God going, like, wearing your state of mind as it is right now and going, oh God, this is terrible. Could you imagine that? Imagine the Buddha, but the Buddha's given your body mind right now, and he's just experiencing what you're experiencing. The Buddha's going, Jesus Christ, what is this? Now I remember why I sat under that Bodhi tree for God knows how long, is because of this stupid, terrible, dumb, unenlightened state. I need to get back to my Buddha state. This is terrible. Jesus Christ, no wonder people are so suffering, in so much suffering. Look at the state of this. Could you imagine the Buddha doing that? Could you imagine Jesus was given your boring old state of mind that you keep trying to change? Jesus comes there, holy Lord, this is, now I remember why I was crucified. This is a state. This is, jeez Louise, I am so glad that I got rid of this. Could you imagine they would do that? Obviously not. Why do you think that is? Because what we're looking for isn't a state. It's to be completely 100% content with what you're currently experiencing, which means the actual highest place to be is where you currently are, minus your desire to change it. That is the highest place to be. There's no higher place than that, because the only, like, let's just say, for example, there is a highest place, right? Let's just say, just to supplement this, your incessant need to change a state of mind. Let's just say that there was some higher place to be. Do you think you get to that higher place without completely embracing where you currently are? Do you think you go from, I hate this experience, to, I love, oh my God, everything's changed, now I'm feeling amazing? You don't just have some gay awakening like that. You see, it's like you just come out of the closet and everything's changed. What you realize is that you are experiencing right now, literally, the highest place. You're experiencing the highest state. The problem is you want to get rid of it. And the you that wants to get rid of it is the only thing in the way of experiencing it directly. Because the you, right, when you say, I want to get rid of this, I am not content with this, I am suffering, that there's only one I. There is infinite being. There is infinite consciousness. The only I there ever could be. There's only one thing in existence. The fact that there exists, the fact that there is anything at all, is the I. That's what the I refers to. That's the source of existence. There's only one of them. So the only thing powering and energizing your experience, or giving you any sense of existence, is the actual reality. And you think that actual reality is simply contained inside the body. And you think it looks out into a separate world. That's literally the only thing causing your suffering. So if you realize that this same sense of I that doesn't need to change, the one you already have, right? That to which the I refers, not the thought I, but to that which the I refers. If you realize that is literally infinite consciousness, and that the only thing making you suffer is that you think that I is limited. Basically, you think your sense of existence is finite. Therefore, you think existence is finite. Therefore, you think the world is finite. Therefore, you think everything is separate. That is what creates suffering. So your current state, you don't even need to, this is the magic of this, you don't even need to see that you're infinite. You just have to stop seeing that you're finite. So for instance, you don't have to have an experience of being infinite. You just have to know for absolutely certain that you are not finite. You don't have to be like, I had this realization, now I can clearly see everything, that I'm infinite. You just have to have the realization that I can clearly see that I'm not finite. That is how you recognize the infinite, by seeing you're not finite. You can't have an experience of the infinite. What even experience would that be? You see, you can't have an experience of the absolute because it is absolute. So the only way you can have an experience of the absolute is if you realize that. Which is kind of like a weird experience. It's not a normal experience. It's not a phenomenal experience. It's pure nominal. There's no phenomena. There's no experience of that in the way that we usually consider experience. We consider experience something that happens with a start and an end, and something happens in the middle. This is not an experience of a start and an end with something in the middle. It's the experience of the absolute. So it transcends experience. So it's kind of an experience, but it's not the same way that we experience things normally, you see? So it's a recognition of what you already are. So the highest place to be is exactly what you're currently experiencing. Nothing has to change. The only thing that is preventing you from seeing that clearly is that you think that you have to change your experience, and the you that thinks you have to change it is your last bit of separateness that is evaporating. So you think, I have to change this. This isn't my current, this is not the enlightened state. That is, again, you just having another layer of basically ego. Ego is the belief in separation that manifests as a thought, feeling, and a subsequent action. And that's just how we operate as a separate self. Every time that we're not operating on the belief in separation, we're basically a pure expression of God. And that's not to say that even in the separate self, it's not an expression of God, but it is not a pure expression of God in the sense that it is an expression of God in ignorance, shining through the layers of ignorance. And that shining through the layers of ignorance will make every thought, feeling, and subsequent action trying in direction of coming back to it. So that's why everybody is seeking something, and whether they know or are aware of it or not. So everyone is seeking, but people are just more conscious of how much or what they're seeking than others. So just have this simple recognition. If there was a higher state that goes right the way to the top of the mountain, you don't get there by trying to resist your experience. You get there by realizing, so the actual place to be that I thought I had to find a new state of mind. But actually, my current state of mind is the place to be. And the whole journey that I took was just to realize that. I started here with, I want to change this experience. I ended with, I want to change this experience. And I come back to, actually, this is perfectly fine as it is. That is literally the path. If you just took that one thing away and realized that, there would be nothing. Well, there would still be a couple of things to do. You'd then have to understand, okay, for the past 30, 20, 50, 80 years, I've just believed myself to be separate. So what's going to happen then is you're going to go, okay, so my habitual sense of separation is going to still continue. And there are cooperation methods, we can call them, to basically gradually dissolve those tendencies. So that's the post-enlightenment process, or the post-awakening sadhana. But prior to that, we need to understand where you're currently at is actually the top of the mountain. You think you're here, you're actually right here. Where's the top? Right there, somewhere in the tree. You're already at the top. So, and the top is not a state. So you think, Sal just says I'm at the top, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it because you still have this belief, like there's almost like this belief that you don't deserve it. It's like, shouldn't I have a guru? Shouldn't I don't I have to have a guru for this? Shouldn't I have had like some kind of experience for this? Shouldn't I have had like, because this is what I had. I knew this intuitively, but I thought I had to first find a guru. I thought I had to do all these things. I basically thought I had to deserve it. basically I thought, oh, my story has to align to a particular degree, then I will be able to be free. It's ridiculous. Notice that tendency and drop it. Oh, my tendency right now makes me think I have to deserve it. Maybe I haven't spoke to enough teachers yet. Maybe I haven't had enough awakening experiences yet. Maybe I haven't meditated for long enough. You can just be happy right now. It's really that simple. It really, really is. And for those who don't think it's that simple, for those who have a resistance to hearing that, for those who think it's not that simple, yeah, that's just because your mind is complicated. So that's why teachers exist, because there's people with complicated minds. My mind was very complicated. I needed a very good teacher to help me. Sought the will to find him, found him 3 hours away from my house. You see? So complicated minds will complicate it. A simple mind will understand this. And all the process is basically developing further and further sophistication for a complex mind. And the more sophisticated the mind, the more simple the mind becomes, even though it has gone through a complex process. So complex isn't complicated. It just means it's complex. It's like clockwork. Clockwork is not really complicated. It's very simple. It's just complex. There's a lot of cogs moving a lot of things, but if you break them down, they're very simple. And what does that do? Creates a very sophisticated, simple process that does a very sophisticated, simple thing, namely tell you where the sun is in the sky. And that's kind of what we're doing on this path. We are evolving the mind in further and further sophistication, moving through complexities, simplifying, and then eventually letting go of everything we simplified, removing all knowledge, so all the complexities disappear. So we take complexities, we remove complexities, we remove knowledge, and this is how we basically end up being in transcendence, meaning transcendent of the mind, but still being able to thrive in experience. And it's through that our love and wisdom enters the world. It doesn't enter the world through trying to change, to get enlightened. It enters the world through realizing the absolute, letting the absolute and letting our true nature shine into experience, and doing what we can to build our autonomy again. Because we lose autonomy on this path, then we gain autonomy as an individual. It's just that individual isn't moving on behalf of being finite. I have a free community. The link's in the description. I give exclusive content, free meditations. I'd love to see you there. Have an amazing day, guys. Take care. Bye.